Chill.
Hello, Marvel Legends! A few weeks ago, I released the top 10 baffs that I own, and that caused no controversy or discussion whatsoever. So let's do another one. I actually have just acquired so many more baffs that I can do a top 21 baffs. It's not really a top 21 because there are so many more baffs. So this is just Dave's list of his baffs in order of favoriteness. So let's do it. Coming in at number 21, we have the Molten Man, the only figure that I have not completed. Don't think, oh, I'm going to turn off this because the guy doesn't even have his figures complete. This is the only one. It just seems silly not to include a figure that is mostly complete. But of course he's at the bottom of the list. Look at this ugly guy. I mean, who thought this would make a good baff? Honestly, come on, Hasbro. No one really wanted this. He just looks like a big pile of melted plastic, which is pretty much what he is. The only saving grace that I have for this figure, you know what, there's a couple. He's big, okay? He's a baff and he's big. That actually counts for a lot in itself. Also, I can see the sunlight shining through the molten plastic bits, which actually does look very effective. It looks like he's glowing, so that's kind of cool. It's just that no one asked for this, you know? So I'm gonna have this figure customized, remade into a DK figure from the Ben Reilly Spider-Man arc. The character only appeared once, but then again, Molten Man only appeared once in Spider-Man Far From Home, and I don't think anyone's ever going to think of that character ever again. And now I'd like to try and stand him, but hey, there we go. I'm sure that won't last, but either way. Number 21, MCU Molten Man. Coming in now, we have, this is going to get controversial, all right? And bear in mind, I like these figures, but I got to make a preference. We have the Super Skrull. Now, a lot of people dig this figure, and I know that they do, and I understand why. This is a good figure. So why so low on the list? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first one is simply that he's a regular-sized figure. He's not a big baff figure. And I know what you're going to say later. You're going to say, but Dave, you have regular-sized baffs higher up on your list, so why not Super Skrull? Because Super Skrull should be bigger. He should be a beast. Super Skrull should be a roided out, a roidy Magoo skull. Skrull. But he's not. He's just slightly bigger than your average dude. He should be on a Omega Red mold. Or he should be on a Colossus mold. He should be top heavy and look like a freak, basically. But he looks like a regular Skrull, but with some additions. And the additions are nice. The translucent stretchy arm, very cool. But we also have the fire on the thing hand. And it's like, why are you being lazy, Hasbro? He's got 4 limbs. He's got 4 limbs and 4 powers that he's stealing. Why are we doubling up? Why don't we have a translucent arm and a stretchy leg? And a thing hand and a fire leg? Well, because that's going to cost extra. So we'll just smoosh them together. So I think this guy's lower because of what I see as lost opportunity. It could have been so much cooler. All right, coming up now, we have a new... Well, actually, on my list, on my little mental list, next place would be Absorbing Man. I'm not going to bring him out because I've just rearranged my whole collection and I'm not going to pull everything out again. But you've seen Absorbing Man in the previous list. So after Super Skrull comes Absorbing Man. But after Absorbing Man comes a new figure that I do actually have physically in hand. All the new figures I'm adding, we have here. And it is Ultimate Green Goblin with his fire effects falling off, which was a very smooth transition. There we go. I have been sleeping on this figure for such a long time. I was always like, he doesn't look great. The photos don't look all that much. Having him in hand, yeah, this guy is actually way cooler than the photos give him justice to. He's big. Look at the size of this guy. Do you feel, insecure, Super Skrull? You should, because this is more what I'm talking about here. A big, monstrous character. This is what baffs should be all about. Characters that are too big, ergo expensive, to put in the regular line. Green Goblin nails it. Love the translucent fire effects. Only thing that lets him down a little bit is that because he's an older figure, the paint apps aren't quite so exciting. He's a very plain, plasticky kind of green, so he does show his age a little bit, but he is still a fun figure and good marks for this guy. Next on our baff list, we have Caliban, a newer baff who's not ranking all that highly, which is kind of surprising because often, you know, the quality of the baffs improve. So why is Caliban so low? Only because he's just not that exciting of a character to me. The body mold I think is great. They need to use this body mold more because he's big and kind of hench and like a hefty character, so that's really cool. But there's just not much going on. It's just a paint job on here, which is fine because that's the character, but it just doesn't make it very interesting. There's no costume, there's no pockets, pouches, armor, nothing. It's just painted detail and not much detail. So it's just not a very exciting figure. His face sculpt looks really cool. I love this expression. I'm actually making another Caliban so I can have it customized into Spider-Side, which will look so good. But in the meantime, we have a fairly basic figure here. Not bad by any means. Well, that was inevitable. I'll edit that. Movie magic. But yeah, Caliban, good, but not great. So he's nice, but he doesn't rank that highly. But don't worry, Caliban, you're still kind of cool. But this list is all about really cool. Number 16 on the list, we have the Hasbro Onslaught figure, already covered in the previous list, but this is his new ranking in the top 21. But after Hasbro Onslaught, we have the Sugar Man, another one previously covered, and chasing after him, or before him, I suppose, because he's higher in the ranking, is SPDR. After SPDR though, or before, reverse lists are confusing, but here we have an old school figure who's going very high on the list. Toy Biz Onslaught. Yeah, this figure is why people still lament Toy Biz, you know, not making figures anymore. You know, that's really funny. I tried to not bash Hasbro there because my brain went, careful Dave, one day Hasbro will be paying you to make these videos. You gotta dream big, kids. But no, I'm still not afraid. Toy Biz baffs were so much better, just by size and detail. Actually, because I try to stop myself saying that there, because actually, no, there are some amazing Hasbro baffs in fairness. But this guy, oh, it's the texture. That's something that is often ignored with current releases. It's the texture of the figure. Look at how the light catches all the wrinkles and I don't know what words to say. Knobbles? You know what I'm saying. It's rough. It's like a beetle shell that's over this. Look at the scratches and detail on the back. Oh my goodness. This is great. He doesn't even really show his age because the paintwork with the wash that's over here that brings out the darker sort of shades. Oh, so good. I can't believe I had this figure in my cupboard and just forgot to include him initially. This Onslaught baff is fantastic. What do I sort of lament about him? Why is he not higher on the list? These legs. It is virtually impossible to stand. I'm sure that maybe when he was brand new out of the packaging, the joints might have been a little stiffer. He might have stood a little better. But right now, if you set him up to stand, it's only a matter of time until he comes crashing down, which I'm kind of rolling a dice here. Will he last throughout the video? Let's see. It's going to be quite intense. It's like a Hitchcock movie. So yeah, Onslaught from Toy Biz ranks very high. Only other reason is that he's big. He's great, but like the character in the comics was even bigger. So it feels like the scale isn't quite like it should be, but that would be ridiculous because he is like huge in the comics. So I will allow this, and he just looks awesome. I love this guy. Just above Onslaught, we have Dormammu. Looking at this guy more and more, I think he probably shouldn't rank so high because he's not very poseable, but it's, what can I say? Skulls are badass. Translucent skulls are even better, so he still ranks pretty high in this list. But one step higher, we have a new addition. It's Dynamo! Oh, finally. Mwah! I love this guy. I'm so glad to finally have him in my collection. And what a great baff he is. I've got the screaming face on because most people do. Because it's fun, it's more dynamic. Ah! You know, you want that jumping off your shelf. This character is so much fun to pose. He's got the great ankle articulation, so you can have him running and charging. And of course, he has the other head. Other heads, oh, mwah, I'm always going to mark out for extra heads. So this guy is a wonderful, wonderful bath. I won't go on about him too much because he's been featured a lot on this channel recently through unboxings and legacy reviews and all that kind of thing. So yeah, let's not wax lyrical too much. Also, changeable hands would be nice. It's just the fists, which are good, but a fist and a grabbing hand, that would be nice, but still, great figure. What's up next? For the next few, we're going back to the previous list. We have Apocalypse. Big, tall, imposing, menacing, great, great figure. After Apocalypse, we have Kingpin, and it's difficult to choose, you know, which one and which order to put things in. This is a bit of a random assortment because, oh my goodness, it's so hard to choose between these guys. And after, we have Sandman, and Sandman could rank so much higher. It's only the fact that I find him difficult to articulate his legs, and come on, we want sandy legs as well. Come on, Hasbro, give us a re-release and go full Sandman. And after Sandman, we have the Juggernaut. Oh yes, what a wonderful, wonderful bath this is. I originally thought that I don't really need him because I've got the Colossus 2-pack. How wrong I was. This guy is fantastic. I love, a lot of people don't like the helmet shape. I don't mind it. I think this looks fine to me. But it's the darker colors. It's the belt, it's the human eyes with the cool maniacal grin. Juggernaut is so much fun to pose and play about with. He pops off the shelf. He's a huge, hefty character. This is what I'm talking about with things scaling the way that they should. Juggernaut gets big, big points and deserves his rank very high on this list. But next, at number 6, we have Monster Venom from the Monster Venom wave, previously listed so not to be covered here, but one step above him we have a new figure to cover, which is the Demo Goblin, or Demo Goblin? Demo Goblin sounds like he's like a goblin that stalks people who are recording demos of new albums. Oh no, it's the Demo Goblin! What a great figure, and I didn't include him in my original list, even though I owned him at the time because I'm a doofus. But maybe the reason I didn't include him was because I forgot that he was a bath because, yes, as I said earlier, he is a regular-sized character. This guy could have easily been a regular release Hasbro, you cheeky little devils, you. But how good is he though? Why does he get so many more places above Super Skrull? Because this is the size that he should be. You know, Demo Goblin, I'm going to say Demo Goblin. Demo, Demon, it makes more sense. Demo Goblin should be this size, so it scales the way it should do. And he is a little bit more bath-worthy, only a little bit, because he does have the beautiful fire glider, and he has the nice stand. Well done, Hasbro, finally giving us stands for our gliders. Excellent. But yeah, the gnarly face sculpt on here, the tongue sticking out. I gave him a pumpkin bomb from another character, probably Jack-o'-lantern, I think. So that's kind of bad that you did a goblin without a pumpkin bomb. Come on, Hasbro, you know better than that. But I'm going to move Juggernaut. This is getting kind of crowded here. We're not even done yet, and we have some big shelf fillers still to come. But yes, oh my goodness, Demo Goblin, whatever you call him, ranks with his clawed hands very, very high. But we're moving into the top ones now. In the number 4 spot, we have the big, beautiful, bright white Wendigo. And one step above him, we have another new figure for my collection. We have the Crimson Dynamo with all of his limbs now. Thank goodness. I love this guy. Love, love, love. So much so that I bought the entire damn wave just to get him. I wanted Crossbones and Winter Soldier anyway, and then all the other ones, surplus to requirements. But they have since been sold, so it all actually worked out pretty well. But look at this guy, big and chunky. We love the junk. We love the junk. This guy is just a shelf filler in the most dynamic way. Look at the beautiful, like, translucent stuff on the wrist. I imagine, like, kayfabe-wise, there is like a cooling gel or something to keep the suit cool. I love the industrial Soviet look with the exhaust pipes, and you've got the dynamo turbine on the back as well. He doesn't have any interchangeable hands, but the ones he does, nice big clawing hand, or maybe a repulsor type blast. Does he doesn't have repulsor technology in the hands, does he? No, he doesn't. So he's just like, ah, meow. Just don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, this guy also, the face, it's a visor. Visors are badass. Ask Boba Fett. Ask RoboCop. It's never going to go out of style. So Crimson Dynamo, very, very highly ranked. Top 2 now. What's it going to be? In at number 2, we have the original number 1. We have the Lizard Baff. So good. So beautiful. But not number 1. Here at number 1, we have, maybe with some recency bias, Sauron. Oh my giddy lord. Look at the size of this guy. Blocking out the sun as I lower him here. This might just destroy the entire setup that I've built, so I'm going to be very careful because these wings are just huge. But that's why he ranks so high. Sometimes I think the Hasbro designers just go, you know what? Screw it. Let's ruin everyone's collections with something gigantic. The tail sticks out so far back, it's like you need space to position and to pose this guy. But that's why he's so good. No mucking around. No like, oh, let's see if we can just squeeze a small little regular sized character in here. No, let's make a big ass baff the way they should be. That was inevitable, wasn't it? I was doing the last figure. I've still got the head. Let's look at the head. Nah. I'm gonna retrieve this guy. Oh my goodness, look. I love this. We're missing a bit of a wing here. We're missing the head. I'm just gonna pause this while I rebuild the state of this. And we're back. Wow, that was a thing that just happened, wasn't it? That's why I'm so proud of my channel, because we don't edit anything out. We keep it real, we keep it raw. You got to keep it real. Who sang that? You got to keep it raw. I'm living back to my chat. 5? Was it 5? English viewers, tell me that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Sauron, yes. Great baff. Not a mutant, as I found out from my top mutants list, but still, he is definitely a baff, and he is a fantastic number 1 place for not my top whatever baffs, but it's just the order of my favorite baffs. Guys, what do you think of this list? Is it a fair top 21? I tell you what, I'm going to give you the full rundown from 21 to number 1, just to round this out. So, in number 21, we had Super Skrull. In number 20, Molten Man. 19, Absorbing Man. 18, Green Goblin. 17, Caliban. 16, Onslaught Hasbro. 15, Sugar Man. 14, SPDR. 13, Onslaught from Toy Biz. 12, Dormammu. 11, the Rhino. 10, Apocalypse. 9, Kingpin. Sandman at 8, 7, Juggernaut, 6, Venom, 5, Demo Goblin, 4, Wendigo, 3, Crimson Dynamo, 2, the Lizard, and number 1, Sauron. Whew! Just over 20 minutes for my top 21. How appropriate was that? Guys, I hope you enjoyed this ridiculous trip through my baff collection. I will see you in the next episode, and until then, keep displaying model behavior.
You know, when the excellence of execution wants to watch the best Marvel Legends content on YouTube, he's sure to like, share, and subscribe to Model Behavior. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.